The Office, patterned on an original British TV series, was a risky concept. Rejecting the usual laugh track or studio audience.
You have access to our emails?
For a documentary-style comedy with understated dialogue.
I gotta erase a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
All of us felt like we had a show that was really special, but it took an audience time.
The painful silence and tell-all facial expressions have become the show's signature and turned its supporting actors into fan favorites.
You can give somebody a look and just speaks volumes.
Are there moments that you think, this just isn't funny because we're not going for the obvious joke?
Whenever you come into the office, I want you to think about this.
We don't need to.
Yes, we do.
Uncomfortable is good. If we're not making you laugh, we're making you squirm, and that's good too, because squirming will eventually lead to giggling.
Pain is the new funny.
Yeah, I'm not a temp anymore. I got Jim's old job, which means at my 10-year high school reunion, it will not say Ryan Howard is a temp. It will say Ryan Howard is a junior sales associate at a mid-range paper supply firm. That'll show him.
Our show is the most kind of awkward, embarrassing, and kind of real show on TV that deals with that color of comedy. I think we're the best in that genre, which we inherited from the brilliant English show. But what's so interesting to me is how much young people like that kind of humor. They love that kind of awkward humor. I don't know what it is, but it seems that Ricky Gervais was able to just capitalize almost on a generational shift with an understanding that so much of the comedy is not in the setup, punchline. There's very few jokes on our show. It really is characters behaving and the reactions to that behavior. You know, Dwight will do something stupid, but the laugh is on Pam watching it or Jim seeing it and then turning to the camera. Because that's, I think, how young people, that's how young people feel today. You know, they're seeing all of this absurdity, and it's like, if they could, young people would just be like, and just look at the camera. So it's less a comedy of awkwardness and more a comedy of reactivity.
What is this?
Happy holidays, Dwight. But do not open it till Christmas.
You're so pathetic. How long did this take you? 3 hours?
5 minutes, actually. I am a black belt in gift wrapping.
Yeah, no such thing. They don't give out black belts for things that are stupid. Well, I hope it was worth it, because I'm going to take it apart in about 5 minutes.
I think I'll take you a little bit longer than that.
Really? If I can skin a mule deer in less than 10 minutes, I ought to be able to cut my...
It's still based on the same principles of what I think comedy is about. I think there's a big difference between comedy and sense of humour.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Did you see Oprah yesterday?
No, I didn't.
I'm going to be a father.
What was Oprah about?
Angelina Jolie was on, and she adopted a baby from Asia, and she said that it changed her life, and that really inspired me. So I want you to look in to see how much a little Chinese baby would cost.
That's a really big decision.
I know.
Maybe you should wait before you adopt.
Well,
or not adopt.
just do it, okay?
Roy's sister looked into it, and the application alone costs $1,000.
Well, find out if there's a cheaper, less expensive baby out there, okay?
You know, she also said the waiting list is like 8 months.
8 months?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I want a baby in 8 months.
Probably won't.
You know what, Pam? If in 10 years I haven't had a baby and you haven't had a baby.
No, Michael.
20 years.
No, Michael.
30.
Sure.
It's a deal.
And then the first original episode we did was Diversity Day. And I remember we actually looked around the room as if we were at a Led Zeppelin concert or something. We were like, this is really, really special. And so something's going to happen here. I owe everything to the writers. And Greg Daniels, who created the show, is a totally genius. He's a genius. And so what they've done with, especially with the Jim and Pam relationship, is always keep it real. It was always about what do real people go through rather than what's good for ratings and what would be great for drama. It was just like, how do people experience relationships? I don't think Jenna and I ever knew what was coming as far as people not only watching the show but actually being involved with our characters. That people said, you know, my relationship's just like your relationship, or I want a relationship like that, or oh my God, my boyfriend proposed to me in a similar way. It was just so amazing to be a part of a family with our fans.
You are very blushing. No, it is very nice. It sort of changes everything.
It does change everything.
I mean, about today. Like today, normally it would be kind of a drag, right? To go on a 5K run for some non-existent cause just so that your really insecure boss could feel important. But yeah, I don't know. Today, it could be kind of fun.
Yeah. Let's take a bite out of rabies.
Let's do that.
It's really fun to play, obviously, because he can pretty much get away with saying anything. And the way the writers have created the dialogue, he can say the most incredibly offensive things, and yet he in and of himself, I don't think is an offensive person. I don't think the season opener this year was a gay witch hunt. Which I really like this episode a lot because it spoke to the fact that Michael is not a homophobe, but he just doesn't understand the world. And they're two very, very different things. It's not that he is intrinsically racist or homophobic or sexist. He just doesn't have a frame of reference. He's not capable of understanding. And once he does glean some understanding, he misinterprets it, and it becomes something else altogether. But I think, at least the way I feel about the character, is that he has a decent heart, he's a decent person, and he's just trying his best.
Let me ask you, is there a term besides Mexican that you prefer? Something less offensive?
Mexican isn't offensive.
Well, it has certain connotations.
Like what?
Like, I don't know.
Well, what connotations, Michael?
No.
Must have meant something.
No. Now remember,
I'm just curious.
Honesty.
Yeah.
Empathy.
Millions of Americans toil away every day in office cubicles like this. You're not even working. See, it's that kind of annex that go on. There's a unique social environment in offices that a lot of people can relate to, and it was the key to the success of NBC's The Office.
This is how you make it in this country. You got crazy. You jump in front of them.
You make it so hard to love you sometimes.
Still behind.
Both of these. I said I didn't want to be on the internet.
Go, 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 go.
we do?
Well, that was better.